What's up guys, this is Ultimate Device Vids, and today in this video we're going to be doing a speed test between the Apple iPhone 13 and the Samsung Galaxy S22. Both devices are running their latest operating systems respectively. Also, both devices are at their peak performance capability in regards to their battery health. As you can see, that is reflected in the iPhone battery settings, and the Galaxy S22 is a brand new device straight out of the box, so you know it has a brand new battery installed. For anyone curious, the motion smoothness setting on the Galaxy is set to adaptive, which means the display refresh rate can go as high as 120 Hz in certain conditions like scrolling or animations. Even though this doesn't play much of a role in a speed test like this, I still wanted to let you guys know. Also, we're using a US model of the Galaxy S22 with the Snapdragon processor. And we're going to kick things off with some app launching tests. So starting off with some light applications on both devices here, as you can see, pretty much neck and neck, as to be expected. Occasionally one of them is, a split second ahead of the other, but all in all here, as you can see, these devices are just performing basically same level here. Of course, super light and simple apps like this on top of the line devices like these two are going to open lightning quick, as you're seeing. And even a little later on, when we start to get into some of the slightly heavier game applications, the same trend overall is continuing, just with both devices being neck and neck. Although I must say, I do notice just a split second advantage on the Galaxy for most of these applications, but this is never something that you'd notice in day-to-day life. And there are definitely instances where the iPhone beats it. It just seems to depend on the application here. I mean, they're just performing so similarly. And for PUBG here, the iPhone beats the Galaxy, but again, just by a few seconds. And interestingly enough, with Asphalt 9, which is an application that always takes a very long time to load on iOS devices, as you can see there, the Galaxy S22 opened it very quickly, noticeably faster than the iPhone. Launching up Asphalt 9 was the biggest difference that I saw in this set of applications. But that being said, it's still only like maximum maybe a 10-15 second difference, so again, not a big deal whatsoever. So as to be expected, both of these devices are just absolute beasts when it comes to getting into applications, whether they're lighter applications or, slightly heavier ones like these. And lastly, I just wanted to throw in the camera application, as to be expected, just lightning quick with simple applications like this. Next, we're going to be doing a consecutive app launching test. So we're going to be launching the same set of applications consecutively, one after the next, on both of these devices, and we're going to show each device doing this side by side just to get an idea of the speed of getting into and getting out of applications in fast succession. So kicking things off here, as to be expected, both devices just blazing through these applications, especially the lighter apps towards the beginning of the test. Just blazing speeds here, no question about it. And it's definitely worth noting that this set of applications is by no means, an intense test. It's just a set of lighter to, slightly mid-tier level, a little bit heavier applications. And of course, top of the line devices like these are not going to have any issue with, this type of app. And some of you guys might notice on the S22, when I exit applications that are in landscape mode, there's a little bit of a delay before I move on to the next app. And that's because for whatever reason on the S22, when you exit an application in landscape mode, it takes the phone a second to switch back to portrait mode before it allows you to launch another app. So that was definitely a little bit frustrating when recording this. I had to do this over a few times because I couldn't figure out what was going on, why it wasn't launching. But again, there's just a slight delay with that, at least when using the gestures to close applications. So I just wanted to clear that up in case any of you guys were wondering what that was. But as to be expected, very impressive performance on both of these. Just being able to start up all these applications in such fast succession in such a short amount of time is very impressive on account of both of these devices. And directly following the consecutive app launching test, I just want to go back into each application that we launched and see which applications were able to be kept open in the background as a little bit of a RAM management check. Once again, nothing we did in this test was, super CPU intensive by any means, but again, I just want to check in and make sure that these applications were all able to be kept open in the background. And to no surprise, both devices were able to keep all of these applications open. Chrome on the Galaxy S22 looked like it had to do a semi-reload, but other than that, again, all applications were where we left them. And for anyone curious, the iPhone 13 has 4 GB of RAM, and the Galaxy S22 has 8 GB of RAM. Next, we're going to do a biometrics test. So on the iPhone, this is Face ID, and on the Galaxy, there's Face Unlock and the fingerprint sensor. So starting off, comparing both Face Unlock mechanisms on these two devices, as you can see, blazing fast on both. And next, here's the S22's fingerprint reader with the screen off compared to Face ID on the iPhone. And as you can see, this is yet another very fast unlocking mechanism. And here's the fingerprint reader with the screen on, and once again, same result here. clear, blazing fast. And real quick, we're going to run a few web page loading tests. You should definitely keep in mind that, of course, tests like this largely depend on the internet connection that you're using. But as you can see here, just loading a quick Google search and then also loading a few web pages on apple.com. As to be expected, basically identical performance on these two devices. And of course, this is using Chrome on the Galaxy and using Safari on the iPhone, their default respective browsers. And in terms of scrolling on both devices, of course, very smooth on both. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, the Galaxy S22 does have that refresh rate that goes up to as high as 120 Hertz when scrolling. So even though I can't really show you this on camera, scrolling definitely looks smoother on the S22 as a result of that higher refresh rate. And lastly, we're going to go ahead and run a Geekbench test on both of these. And more or less comparable numbers for the single core and multi-core scores, with the iPhone scoring a little bit higher. So guys, at the end of the day, with these two phones being two of the highest tier devices from, again, Apple and Samsung respectively, you're not going to have any issue whatsoever with speed and performance doing average day-to-day tasks. But alright guys, that just about wraps it up for this video. If you guys are using either of these devices, let me know down below in the comments section how the speed and performance has been for you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.